Hello, and this is Jer, and welcome to me playing Oxygen Not Included. This last episode, we had a hydrogen issue. We still have that going on. So I'm going to create some airflow tiles just to increase hydrogen flowing upwards. Do the same thing over here. Now I've got plans today, big plans. This may very well not go too well, because it's an experiment, but we'll see how that happens. What I'm trying to do is make a super rocket on this radioactive ocean. And this is pretty much the main thing. Oh, I'm going to destroy this polluted water container. But I want to build a rocket up here, and then first of all, see if I can, without atmo suits, melt the rocket ball. This may go terrible. This may be the end. This may be my last video. Well, not my last video ever, but the last video of this particular series. But who knows? Maybe this goes very well. Quite often, when experimentation and oxygen not included go together, it usually doesn't go well. It usually has to go through a few fails before something good comes out. And this is something completely new. Anyway, just giving you the heads up of that before we get into this. Out in space right now, I've seen a lot of, we've got 2 asteroids. We're going to get rid of this for the time being. Get rid of the clock too. Now, my last video also didn't work out too well. I'm growing sleet wheat and water wheat, and I mean, growing it wasn't an issue. That actually is fine. The issue is, I thought I was going to get more natural gas from this fertilizer because I had some phosphorite kicking around about this location, but it turns out I didn't have nearly as much as I thought. But that's fine. Let's start this experimentation. So to do this, let's give a few more gas masks so we can get more dupes out here in space. I want to be in a vacuum area while I'm doing this. I'm cautious of meteorites might be my downfall. Now, I don't have a lot of steel. In fact, I don't have any steel right now, but I do have the ability to make steel. And that's pretty much the main thing is this particular base I did, this special area, has some diamonds, but it also had some iron ore. Speaking of which, let's see, what can I get? Excellent fruit. Bring that over. Alright, I was going to put some iron ore over here just to make it easier, because we are creating iron. And eventually we're going to be making steel as well. Actually, speaking of which, if we're going to make steel, we're going to want to have a Clin. Put that down here. Also put in a bin. Put the bin in right here, and we will put in an auto sweeper. I don't want to make that out of iron now. You know what? Maybe we don't need the auto sweeper for this part. I just need a little bit of refined iron. That's one of the inputs of steel. What's the other one? Oh, right. We need to get this guy operating. It would be nice to have that such that it's not on the low, smaller circuit. I want to bring that to the heavy watt circuit. Get rid of these doors to make room for that. So for that, I'll want to have... So I want some fossil, I want some eggshell. That's for making lime. I need to type shell in order for that to appear by itself. Okay, there we go. So we'll set up our rock crusher right here. Probably have some plants we have to dig out. Okay, and we'll want to have a light source for that. I think we'll have to have that right here. Now I don't know if this light is going to be close enough. We'll see here in a second. And a rock crusher like that. Get rid of those wires. We'll bring in a heavy watt wire in between these two machinery. So while we've got that going on, we can deliver these suits. If we've got gas mask, I may have to create more. I generally set the setting a little bit higher. Let's have a look over here. I should put in some deodorizers. This polluted water to oxygen system set up over here. I am not loving the hydrogen. Now, I did fix this issue. I've got this going to infinite storage way over here, which is very helpful. So in time, that should settle down. Put an airflow tile right there. Hopefully not going to have a pip escape. Okay. Where to go next? So that cleanse ready. Okay, so we can make some refined carbon. I'll just make about 33 pieces of that. I've got a rock crusher. I'm going to make some fossil to lime, eggshell to lime. If I've got some poke shells, that can also be a little bit of a lime source. Now with this setup, I'm going to need more power. So I'm going to get rid of this battery actually and move this one over. So I want to have a third hydrogen generator. So we're going to be running this metal refinery. We're also going to be building an aquatuner. Thermo aquatuner going in very early on. Not for cooling purpose, but for heating purpose, oddly enough. So we're going to be trying to make molten steel. Now this could be quite dangerous, especially with the Atmos suits, with the amount of heat that I'm going to be subjecting the duplicants to, or at least in the vicinity. But my hope, and we'll have to find out how this goes, but my hope, I don't want that aluminum, that's fine. My hope is that I will be able to find a way around the fact that I don't have Atmos suits. But we'll see. It'll be a fun thing to experiment with. Okay, so we've got our smart battery. I'm going to put a setting of 95 to 100. The other thing is you need to send hydrogen over. Oh, what is this pipe? Well, that's no longer used. Let's take that out. But that will feed the third hydrogen generator on base. So hopefully we'll be able to keep up with the power now. Now we have tons and tons of hydrogen. Way too much. But yeah, we're getting eyes irritated. Now I'm playing with dupes that are that get stressed out. They're frankly depressing. So over on this world, we're bringing over some copper. We've got 3 dupes here. Who are the 3? We've got Spot. We've got a dupe that is really good at ranching. And Crush. Oh yeah, that's right. Crusher was the recent one that was brought over. Continue to dig out a little bit more of that material. Grab some of this stuff too. Algae, because that's our oxygen source over here. This is, just looking at this. This is a potential someone could get up in this ladder. get stuck. Just going to do that. Doesn't look like Crusher is going to fall for that trick. Alright, so waiting for someone to create this third hydrogen generator. Also waiting for hydrogen to get out of the way. Now that hydrogen's coming from down here because I've got these various Saturn critter traps, which is nice, but I didn't have a door here for a while. And that was, well, clearly causing problems for all of us. Where are we? We've got over 100,000 calories of barbecue meat. One of the oxygen masks has been delivered. Just see, if we're going to be up here for a bit too, it would be nice just to extend this the full way. Now, I'm wondering if we've got a labor issue. Things seem to be going a little bit slow. I do have farms that may be... I'm going to have more dupes in here doing farming, but I did put auto sweepers in, so they shouldn't have to load bleachstone and dirt. No research is currently going on. Let me get rid of this guy. And also get rid of this. Of course, we are using the rock crusher now, so that's one dupe is going to be over here for a bit. So we've made our iron. Now we have all the input to steel for steel. We make 20 pieces of that. Now this is going to be warming up the liquid that I'm taking in here. So we're almost up to 40 degrees. But overall, it's a cool base. Very cool when you account for the fact that I've got all this ice down at the bottom. I am using that to help cool off this sleet wheat farm over here. Make sure that grows nice and happily. In fact, I might make this 3 degrees. And we're just waiting. Oh, I don't know if anyone can actually... Oh, no, they can't. Because I need a ladder here. That's why no one's doing that. We'll also create... Let's do this. Now, I've never done this before. Use normal tiles to protect yourself from meteorites. So, it may go terribly. Just letting you know, but my thought is if I double layer this, will this, especially if I'm in a pinch and I don't have the ability to create lots of steel, normally I would wait till I have steel to do this, but I'm just wondering, pushing the boundaries a little bit, do I actually have to wait till I have that much steel to actually go and build this rocket that has a melted wall in it? So we've got production of lime starting on. We should have some steel being produced. Oh, speaking of which, I've made a materials study terminal last time, and I was hoping to make a gas range. And I mean, I could, except for the fact that I don't really have enough natural gas to bother with. But I just thought to myself, if I'm building an aqua tuner, I'm going to need to research that, aren't I? Because that's not, that's something I need that for. I believe. Oh, no. It is not. It's, oh, right, because normally I pair that with a steam turbine. It's a steam turbine I need to research normally, but not in this particular case. Alright, because this is an oxygen production site, if we put an airflow tile, it's going to help a little bit. Oh my goodness. The eating area is just terrible. It may be an oxygen production issue as much as anything else. Wondering if I should put another site for oxygen production. Just need to decide where that's going to be. Let's do that over here. I think I didn't realize how many dupes I had for the amount of oxygen production that I've currently got going on, which is just not enough. So we're putting another electrolyzer right here. So this is going up, sending water into that guy. Lime's being produced, cooling off. I see a piece of steel showed up there, 300 kilograms so far. Starting to get up into this area. I'm going to get rid of those automation wire, because that could disable something in the future that I don't intend to. See some thick oxygen. Hoping that's going to encourage hydrogen to float up. What I might do is actually dig this out even more. Oh, if I want that as a nature reserve, we're going to have to make tile here. Get some ladder so we can still cross these places as we dig it out a little bit. So oxygen seems to be all right down here. So it's slowly making its way up. Let's create some airflow tiles around. I see some fridges that are full. Let's looks like we're going to need another one. But there's an automation wire we've got to get. Oh no, we're fine. Automation input for the fridges at the top. With that much food, let's shut down this farm. Actually, that'll save a bit of the labor. Won't get rid of the farm just yet. Disable these buildings. Or, yeah, the lamps. Bristleberry, meal ice. I had some mealwood growing too, and I stopped growing that. Don't believe we need to rely on bristleberry anymore. Now, over here, I'm just wondering, is there any point to having 3 dupes? So if I've got my ore, metal ore, I think we're fine. They do have a deep freezer over in this area. Let's bring Rock Crusher back. Crusher. Oh, Crusher's just about to go on break. Never mind, I'll be back for you in a little bit, Crusher. Stress-wise, CD is the most stressed over here. I've got 2 critters here and 1 over here, so I haven't been repopulating these intentionally. My overall idea, well, the overall idea was experiment with this rocket, but also want to try to minimize the amount of having to go back and forth on this particular asteroid, which in the past I've had a lot more dupes over here. I just found it very annoying to have to flip, you know, being that asteroid's name, oddly enough. But anyway, yeah, so my idea is to keep as many dupes over here and have this as my main base, and just use this as a mining colony to get the minimum amount that I want. Some bristleberry. We're at 15 dupes right now. I don't believe I want to have any more at the time, for the time being. See, lots of carbon dioxide down here. Even some liquid carbon dioxide. Don't necessarily want that. Oh, I know what. To be careful with this. I don't want this brine to cool off too much in the pipes. Ooh, this could be. Ah. Okay. Okay. Hold on, we've got to let this warm up, so let's keep these doors open for a bit. I'm going to have to wait for this to warm up, unfortunately. That's fine, though. Okay, so yeah, that got far too cold. We need to find some time to get to the top of this base. Let's go see if Crusher, it could be done their break. Here we go. Crusher is heading back. This is going to help with the labor on the main base. Helport. Okay, so we've got now 13 dupes over here. So a few more hands to try this big experiment out. But yeah, this is, we don't have anyone on a manual generator. Usually when I think things are going slow, it's because of that. It could also be because normally I play on fast speed, but I'm trying this one at medium speed. So maybe I'm just not used to how long it takes to get things built on this speed. Sunny is up here, doing a single ladder. It could also be that normally I have a carbon dioxide. Oh, gross. Gross, gross, gross. Okay, I think what I'm best to do is make this granite pipe instead of radiant pipes. Let's do that at priority. Yep, this is a bit of an issue. It's really nice to have this cold area down here, but you've got to really control it well. I meant to have this going on connected, and because I forgot to connect this, it just allowed this temperature to not quite maintain itself. If I have that as granite, it's going to interact a little bit slower, which might be ideal. Still, it's a little too cooled, but it's not freezing in the pipes at least. Alright, we'll see what that does over time. If I can get the rest of the dupes up here. Now I'm just thinking to myself, this is an experiment because with this super rocket, because the idea, I'm thinking, if I can do that, I don't have to go back and forth so much. But to be honest, I'm starting to think to myself, in this particular asteroid at least, or this this setup, this cluster, the oily asteroid is really close. It's 2 tiles away. And probably in this particular case, I wouldn't be trying to set up a super rocket. I'm just curious if I can. I would have normally sent just a regular rocket here and get some Dracos. Dracos is the first thing out in space that I generally want. But once this is all said and done, I'll compare this attempt, building a super rocket versus going out and doing a space search for Dracos. Let's up the priority for this. Might be the fact that I've got aluminum in far corners. One thing that is nice about this particular asteroid is that everyone tends to not have to walk as far. I guess that's because the asteroid itself is much smaller. So you don't have to plan for that aspect as much. But it's the limitation of resources which makes this particular asteroid really unique, this whole cluster, the Moonlit cluster. Once I have 20 pieces of steel, yeah, we need to keep this going. In fact, we might even need more fossil. get 20 pieces. Get down here with some gas masks. Now, ooh, I just realized this could be exposure to space if we're not careful. And get access to more fossil. Any fossil over here? No, but I see some aluminum ore. Oh, some way over here. Oh, but we have to make sure no one gets splashed by this. These guys are going to be digging through some sand. See some bleach stone. They should be sending... Oh, I don't know the priority I set. Put bleach stone here. Priority 6. Okay, that should be fine. Someone should be picking that bleach stone up pretty quick. There we go. Bleach stone. Someone should be picking up that bleach stone pretty quick. Oh, another exposure to space. Got priority 6. Okay, so slowly, I see sometimes this happens where you'll get, and maybe the fact that we're producing lots of oxygen here, we're having that issue where I have to keep expanding this out a little bit in order to encourage hydrogen to float up. See if this helps at all. We'll also put in an airflow tile right here. I'll dig this out after just to try to avoid pips from escaping. Speaking of which, the number of pips has gone down. Let's wrangle a few. I don't know if I've got access restrictions still. I do. It's the old incubator system, which I use to populate these guys. Now, the other thing is 7, 6, and 7. So I do need another hatch. We'll wrangle this guy. This guy's age 8. So we'll avoid anyone going in here. Let people go in here. At the same time, since I'm doing this, let's do a little hunt. While that's going on, how about we clean up some stuff? I'll do a little bit of cleanup of wiring. Down here. I'll inspect a few things. Let's inspect the oxygen over on this world. It's fine. Only 2 dupes here, and we've got lots of oxylite for them. I like to try to avoid digging through oxylite if I can. I'd like to get access to a little bit piece of meat that's up here. See, that's an issue, so we'll do that. So we can create a little bit more lime, and we can shut down our rock crusher. Let's have a look at the heat down here. Still okay. Yeah, people do not seem to be so happy about all this hydrogen. We're making our way, though. It's getting out, except for the fact that it's just bubbling around here. Not super nice. I'm going to open this up just a little bit more. Just to really encourage oxygen to go down, hydrogen to go up. Okay, then what about that electrolyzer? Did that get on? It's at max pressure though. It could be the hydrogen. So that really didn't actually do us anything at the moment. Oh, so we need to actually change that out. So we've got some attacking going on down here. So things must be improving, even if slowly. So I see this electrolyzer running somewhat. Just gonna make this whole thing air. Oh, whoa. Oh, no. I ruined my nature reserve. Oh, that's a pain. Yeah, now it's just a park. Silly old park. See if we can reestablish this. Okay, I'm also curious how much obsidian I have laying around. I'm going to assume that I don't have that much. Make that one of those things I bring over. Some obsidian. Now, where do I... do I have obsidian over here? I'm just assuming I do. Well, I certainly don't want to get it in this really hot zone. There's some around these geysers. Dig in, of course. I don't know if anyone here can actually... No, Crusher's gone. Crusher could have done that. Okay, I want to... What's that? Salt water. Let's move you up here. Let's move everything up here. We don't want to bury some aluminum ore. Get granite out of the way. Certainly that seed as well. Okay, so instead of doing this, how about we create airflow tiles here? Move this up and out of the way, and we will create a door. Gonna need to bring a pip in. That one out of copper. Okay, so we've got this. Let's see. Research is complete on drywall. Want to make this out of obsidian. Do we have the ability to make a thermal aquatuner out of steel? We do. Well, 20 pieces of that has been created. So this guy's going to need some power. You know, at this point, we're going to make this out of steel connection like this for the aquatuner, but for a future pump, we're going to have an input and an output line feeding this guy. We'll have some insulated obsidian here. Technically, it's not needed in the airflow tiles. Just to reduce the amount of gas that's being let out, or create a tile here, create a tile there. Okay, well, it looks like we're finally starting to get the hydrogen out of the way. Create this like that. Open this up. This guy is still dormant. And so is the one down there, so we'll just, we won't worry about those then, for the time being. Okay, I see some piping that couldn't have actually been completed unless they've got a ladder here, so we'll help them out with that. I also see Baker is quite stressed out. Let's look at the schedule for Beaker. It's right on the default schedule. Might give them extra break. See if that's going to appease Beaker. And we don't have enough. Oh, you mean it got made out of iron? That was not intentional. That's going to be switched out. Need to get some ladder going down there. Do we have enough copper? Connect that like this, and like that. Get rid of these two guys. What is that? Aluminum. Let's we're just gonna heat that up if we leave it there, so we'll move that out of the way. The other thing, I'm gonna put in this pipe. So I'm gonna have a pump at some point. The pump has output right there. This pump's gonna be made out of steel, and that's gonna take the molten steel from here and store it into here. So we'll want to have this created before this becomes molten steel. I see some salt water going around. That's good. It's going to be making its way up here. It's going to be cycling through. I'm trying to fill these pipes as much as possible before putting the system, because once this goes on, I want to have this not have downtime, essentially. Oh, I've got a bunch of obsidian here. I think we're definitely going to be okay with the obsidian levels. So I need to have lots of radiant pipes. No, not radiant pipes. Insulated pipes for this project. See the salt water going around. That's good. Want to make sure these guys are ready to go. They are. We've got tune up. It's more than enough power to provide power to this thermo aquatuner. So once this is fully flowing through, and it looks like that's the case right now, let's see, we'll disconnect. I'll just disconnect this guy here. We can turn this system on. Actually, I'm wondering if I even need it. Let's try not. This whole playthrough is kind of an experiment. If I didn't attach that, is that even going to be a problem? Oh, we're on cycle 99. So cool. This is actually a big moment. Before I turn this on, let's do a save. Just in case I realize there's something I was missing. So we're going to connect this in like this and this. Let's Click on the piping layer. Look at that. So now our aqua tuner is going through. Let's disable auto repair. And the hope is, an expectation is, this is going to melt. I don't think this is going to be the problem. I think we're going to have molten steel in here for sure. It's more the second part of this, running the metal refinery to continue to heat this up, and the actual rocket while melting itself. We're up over 300. It's already starting to take some damage. As long as it melts before it fully takes damage, then I'm not so concerned. Create a few more pieces of copper. Now we want to make sure this area here doesn't get to be too cold with this setup. Probably not going to have to worry about that. Over 500 degrees. Alright, well, with that, I guess I have to decide what I spend my time doing. Well, let's build the rocket. It's going to be needed at some point soon. Make sure it's over far enough. Pretty sure that's going to be fine. Unreachable dig. Oh, I see why. Oh, they can still supply material to it, but they can't actually dig it out unless they had this ladder going down. Where are we? Over 1,000 degrees, 1,200 even. We've got to get to, it'll tell you the melting point. 24, 26.9. Very precise number to get to. It shouldn't take too long because the aqua tuner makes a lot of heat. Now, one of the things that could go wrong is I could get material that freezes in the pipes. Well, it's currently 30 degrees. Well, on this side is the part that could freeze right here. But it's currently above, well above freezing, so that's not going to be an issue. Beaker is getting more and more stressed. Why specifically Beaker? Anyways, we may need, unfortunately, a massage table, which is not something I normally ever have to build. I am playing with tubes that are frankly depressing, but what can I do for Beaker other than that? Let's give them an extra bedtime, 2 extra downtimes. I was really hoping... What are we missing? Atmosphere. Oh, why did that... Okay, that is weird. Not that I really care, but because I don't have a gas range, I guess technically... We really don't need this this operating. With the sleet wheat, why are they not happy? Because they're not getting water? Oh, right, because this used to be the pump. And to be honest, without a gas range, it probably does make sense to shut this down. Now, if I had, my plan was to have some frost burgers, that would be an easy solution to the stress. That's kind of that was what my plan was. But we're not able to do that, apparently. That's fine. So solo safe air module. This is going to be the rocket I'm going to try to melt the walls of. We're very close. Oh, we're there. So that is now melted. We're just pausing it because I want to make sure this is built really quickly. Make that 9. So that's sitting there. And it's out in space. Now, do I have some liquid right here that, no. Just disconnect this just to be safe. At the moment this is built, I should get my molten steel over here. Jacko's creating the rocket for us. So there it is, the pump's being built. Now all the piping from this point on needs to be insulated obsidian. Because obsidian won't melt at the temperature molten steel is at currently. So even though this is out in space, I still want this made out of insulated material because I don't want the molten to actually become solid in this setup over here. Well, this pump, no, surprisingly, is taking damage. Let's not auto repair it. The only thing we need to do is just make sure that the molten steel gets over here into this liquid reservoir. Now this is the part I'm less certain about without Atmosuit specifically. Okay, it's registering as if we don't have enough ceramic. I think I just need to wait. We're still producing more anyway. Let's check to make sure we've got all our pips back. No, still not. Are they being dropped off somewhere else that I've forgotten about? Oh, yeah, no, they are. Ah. Okay, did not mean for that to happen. So how many do we need? We need 2 more. Wrangle you, try wrangling you. Alright, well, let's do this part of the project. So I have some insulated pipes going in. I need to get this out of the way. The easiest thing if I just drain this whole system out. Put in a pipe up here so that can be drained out. And hold on, what direction? It's going down, so we'll want to cut that like that. In order for this to work, this is going to have to be attached like that. Well, one good thing about this whole setup so far is we do have lots of hydrogen. Let's look at that. Over 1,000 kilograms times 4. 4,000 kilograms. Yeah, we've got lots of power production capability sitting in there. Okay, so we must have made that connection because this is starting to flow. Being drained out right here. Excellent. Well, research has been complete. Let's click on this rocket, add in a battery module. You'll connect that to the heavy watt wire system. At least this one. Some sandstone over here. I guess that can go to the hatches in time. How are the hatches doing with their food source? They're happy. No one's starving yet, despite the fact that these are not completely full. So that's battery module going in. Alright, let's get rid of some pipes around here. So I only want to have insulated obsidian. If I get a single piece of something else, that could be disastrous. Now I'm going to have a liquid shut off right here. And this is going to be feeding this guy depending on whether cooling is needed or not. Or heating, actually. Sorry, is needed or not. So the idea is, I'm not going to connect anything yet. So we'll leave that disconnected. But we're going to take the temperature of this molten steel. And if it needs to be heated up to be able to melt this wall, we'll send it through here. And then it's going to come out here. Oh, the other thing. I forgot. Forgot. We need to keep this guy cool. So we need to actually have that cooling line after all. That's an important component to all of this. So actually we do need to turn that back on. Okay, I guess draining that out was a mistake. Okay, so what I will do, I will disconnect this. We'll get this flowing again. But this time, because it's cooling, actually, how about we use this brine? Load it with that instead. Put this in, push that in, because I want to make sure this stays nice and cool. To be honest, we really don't need this running, because we're not making sleet wheat anymore for the time being. Need a pipe here. Now this can be a labor-intensive task, constantly filling this guy. So we'll stop that production. Just need a very small amount of that ceramic. No, I've got enough for now. Starting to load in some nice cool brine. And I see I built some wrong pipes already. That could be disastrous. Liquid bridge, liquid pipe. Let's get rid of that. This is going to be insulated obsidian. Alright, let's try this again. So this is going to go input. So this is the molten steel going in here if it's hot. If it needs heating, it will go into this guy, the metal refinery. If not, we're going to put it through a liquid bridge. Disconnect that. So basically, if it doesn't need heating, it is hot enough for the rocket wall. So this is going to be the rocket molten steel that's cooled off after it's done a little bit of heating here. And that's going to be jumping over this. Now, hold on, I should maybe make this at a different point. Because this guy is going to be going back to this. I want this to be at the priority order, so it comes out of this first. so it doesn't get held up inside the rocket, which would be a problem because molten steel might solidify in our pipes if I were to allow that to happen. So this goes up. This is going to go into the rocket. Should also make all these bridges out of obsidian. Careful there. So liquid bridge made out of obsidian. I didn't make this one out of obsidian, did I? Okay, now while that's going on, I don't believe I need a ladder, but we'll put one like that in that. But yeah, so this pump here, oh no, pump, I was going to say it's going to overheat. I don't think pumps generate heat, which is nice. So inside this, and we're going to have a rocket with power output. We'll do that right there. I guess that can't be on the glass tile. It's fine. I'm going to make sure this is heavy watt wire. Like that. So we should be able to reestablish a vacuum. Just trying to think, is there anything else oh yeah, there is. So I want some liquid stored right here. So I can vent that to make this, expecting this to be in a vacuum, so that should be fine. What I'm going to do is get some liquid just sitting in here. The purpose of that liquid is for cooling. So once these two tiles melt, I don't want this guy here in particular to melt. Otherwise I won't be able to get gas out. So this pump is now running, getting power from the main base. I am going to have dupes come back in, so it's just going to get more carbon dioxide. But eventually I'm going to kick everyone out, because that's going to become a dangerous area. Alright, so let's put an obsidian pipe, or a bridge right there. This is going to be the cooled off stuff. It's going to hit in there. We also need automation wire to connect in with that. This guy needs some power. I'm just realizing this is not the right direction. Need to flip these both over. Oops. Okay. Experimental Uranus, the fifth. This is an experiment, that's for sure. So it's not completely wrong there. We're low on obsidian. I'm just wondering if I even need to make this out of obsidian. I think I do. Not this section. In fact, I think this can actually just be regular pipes. Because it's going to be just sitting in a vacuum. Just in case we have very hot liquid here, I'm going to avoid putting the liquid there. So we'll want to load in some cool liquid. We've got that brine line to take advantage of. Conductive panel, make that out of steel going down like that. We want to siphon off some of that brine to put in here. How many tiles worth do we need? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So we want to go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Make a liquid bridge right here. Push this in. But not actually connect it just yet. Let's cancel that one. I'm not sure if that might be a good idea or not. Actually, no, it should be fine. Alright, so there is, that should be my 7 pieces. Let me cut this here. Let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So we're going to make that way into the rocket. Just having a look at this whole setup. So this is basically if we need heating, it's going to go in here and then back into the liquid reservoir. If it's not, I mean, it's going to be hot enough going in here. This is just temporary. This is going back out and into there. I think this whole setup is exactly what we want. Now, this is going to be all the material to make some steel. So we'll want some lime. We'll want some, what is that, carbon, refined carbon. We'll want iron. Iron ore and iron, all sitting here. Okay, so let's check inside this rocket. We should have now. That's awesome. It's exactly what I want. This sitting ready to go. Let's get rid of this. So this is going to allow me to do some cooling after this is complete. After they are done here, I'm going to kick everyone out. Just so that we don't have any more carbon dioxide, because I want to make sure I maintain a vacuum within the inside of the rocket. Okay, so we're getting to a very small amount at this point. Let me just check. We've got this made out of obsidian insulated, except for that one tile. We've got some liquid. So the moment I connect this, let's make sure there is a insulated liquid pipe. Didn't need to be obsidian, that's fine, that can sit there. So once I disconnect this, this can rush into some initial cooling. But this area can be off limits. I think I can do that just by crewing it and not selecting a crew, therefore it's a crew of no one. So no one should be allowed to go in here anymore. And we've got our vacuum, awesome. All the carbon dioxide is out. I think we are ready to go. But this is a big moment that where things could easily go wrong. So we're going to do a test save before I allow this to run. I have to go check the temperature at which this melts. I think it's the same. It's well, steel, right? So 24 something. 24, yeah. So the idea here is if temperature is below, let's make it 2500, then it should go into this guy. This guy's being kept cool with this cooling line. It's nice brine that's going around. We will produce iron. Let's create some pieces that will produce some steel. 20 pieces of that. Oh no! What happened here? Oh, this got some out. Okay, did not realize that. That's not great. But I think we're out of obsidian. But technically we've got enough. Can I connect that? There we go. Okay. Okay, we're fine. I think. But yeah, this is loading into this. Now, the other thing that could go wrong, if people don't... Let's make this a priority action. That's going to help. Oh, whoa. What? Yeah, I didn't mean that to actually be built. Whew. Granite would be a bad choice. What I don't want to have happen is this to be held up right here, trying to load into this. So we need to keep this running around the clock, dupes. So molten steel, 1300. It's got to go above 2500 to eventually make its way in here. So I'm pretty certain that on this particular asteroid, I am in fact going to be able to melt this wall. There's one still catch that may be hitting me still, which is the ability to cool this off. I mean, does me no good to actually melt 2 tiles here if I can't cool it off safely. But my plan is just to load it with liquid without allowing any dupes in still. I think I can do that. I'm a little bit worried, though, that the liquid that goes in here is going to burst in the pipes from overheating. Even though this is insulated, these pipes are going to get really hot. That may be the undoing of this whole project. But we got to wait and see. New printable. Who would want to join this asteroid? Oh, we'll make some... take in some iron. Can use that for steel production. But power-wise, we should be able to keep this metal refinery running. You can see temperature is up there, 50. But because it's made out of ceramic, that's allowing it to overheat at a higher temperature. And we are cooling it off with this cooling line. Molten steel is over 2,000 now. So it shouldn't be too long before we actually see the first piece of molten steel go in here and see if that goes well or not. So this green basically is indicating that cooling is needed. I'm not sure how much I lost right here. I should have never actually built that pipe until this whole thing was ready to go. Or I could have manually disabled liquid reservoir. But as long as we've got enough to do around within the metal refinery, that's fine. In fact, the fact that it all fits in there might actually be good, because that means none of it's being held up in the pipe. 2600. Now when it goes out, it should be false. There we are. We're seeing it go up now instead. Oh, whoops. Couple things. Let's get rid of that, though I don't think that matters. Insulated. I can't. Here's what I need to do. I need to trick it, but not tell the tubes. Actually, no. Let's not do that. So I had just the perfect amount of obsidian for this whole setup. Okay, hold on. Let's pause it. I just want to have a look. So right now, this is 2500. We've got a nice temperature of 27 in here. So that is quickly dropping from 2500, almost 1,000 degrees drop in temperature. Significantly heating this up. It's over 100 degrees right now. And that will continue to run until this. So what's going to happen is this molten steel on this side is going to obviously be not hot enough at some point below the 2500. So it's setting to be true, meaning we need to run the metal refinery once again. So the first pass through gave us an increase up to 2100. Now, one disadvantage of this whole setup is the rock is really good at exchanging temperature all through itself. So I don't have to just heat up these 2 tiles. I unfortunately have to heat up the whole thing, but we'll be able to do it. Another pass through. Now, where? I just need to make sure I've got the input is steel. I need to have iron. Lime production is slow, though I don't necessarily have to make steel. It's just that steel produces much more heat, which is nice in this particular setup. How are we for fossil? We don't have any more fossil. Let's dig a path to get some of that back. So we'll dig down there to get access to a little bit of fossil. Might need a ladder there to be able to get up here. Also see some over here. Now to do that, because everyone's just going to have to get wet, splashed. As long as that doesn't dig out a spot that's too big for the power plant. How big is that right now? 61. I think we are fine. Okay, so while the dupes look for some fossil, let's check. We're at over 400 degrees. Still have Beaker, who's quite stressed. So, if I had gone back and done this again, I definitely just curious about this whole setup without ammo suits. But I would have liked to already been over and get access to some Drecos, which would give me some reed fiber, and I could at least give them some carpeted tiles to sleep on, which would address the whole stressed out thing a little bit. See some granite tiles that could be created where the dupes are eating and cooking. The same thing over here. Can even bring in some decorating. Hold on, well, why is this not, this pip has not planted anything there? What plants are too close? We'll get rid of these guys, though I don't think they're in the way. We have not re-established our nature reserve, which actually could handle the stress situation. So I would have thought by this point this pip would have planted something right here for us. Unless there's a decorative plant I just don't see. Get rid of that guy. Nothing here, is there? No. That is a bit of a mystery. Kicking myself for making an airflow tile there. Well then. And they've got access to a seed. Yeah, they do. Mirth, leaf. That was really bizarre then. Just realized too, it's hard to see some liquid that's on these tiles. Everyone's getting their feet wet and they do not need to. Could probably get rid of some of these airflow tiles as well. One, two, three. Oh, okay. I know what it is. I did not want the tile there. I built it at the wrong location. because I'm too close to these 3 plants. We can fix that. Let's move that granite out of the way. Move that copper ore over here. Oops. Now we've got to make a tile all around a future door that's going to sit in there. Okay, let's check inside our rocket. Over 600, getting close to 700 degrees. Manual airlock, we'll put that right there. Put this way down here. Yes, you guys have been without your nature reserve for too long. That park sign back. Speakers installing. This speaker is the most stressed out. Most the benefit from having a nature reserve. So take this door out. Gives us a natural tile. Destroy these 2. Now we should at some point see. So now we've got a distance of 3, 1, 2, 3 from these 3 plants. You should see that pip at this point putting in something here that can grow wild. So we should have a park at least. Yeah, we'll get a park back. Running the manual or the metal refinery around the clock. This is actually really nice because we get a bunch of material from this. Steel, iron, we can even make some copper ore. Well, while we've got this, put in some more tiling here. Oh, how many tables do I have? I'm not certain I've got enough. Got what? 13 dupes here. That's 10. 7, so it'll be 17. More than the total amount of dupes that I have. These all built. But trying to think too. Let's do some basic decorating. Make this out of granite. Put these in the corners. Put in some ceiling trim. Let's validate that these are all the rooms. Oh, that's just because of that. Okay, that's fine. It was like that. That's not good. Alright, so we'll make it a little bit of a prettier place to sleep and to eat. We'll do the same thing in the washroom. Cover the corners. These, just because. Do that at priority so we can re-establish our Great Hall. Over 700 now. Is there anything I want to research while all this is going on? Potentially might want to get the conveyor receptacle. How do we do with the fossil? Good. And over there. Got some more fossil over here. Now if I expand that way, we put a door here. Ooh, door right there. Don't want that, dig that out. This is staying nice and cool. Oh, I would, we should build another fridge. What do we got in here that's taking so much space? Sleet wheat grain. Yeah, we don't really need to be stirring all that. So let's put in 2 more of these. Oops. Set this at -33. Sky is 40 degrees, so it's getting warm down here, but it's okay for the time being. The other thing that we can do is just drop off junk that's on the floor. Just need to choose a spot. We'll do that right here. So we'll clean up the common areas, the eating area, and the sleeping area. (2600-degree temperatures going in. We're over 800 now. Gonna have another gift in a little bit. So from this point on, we're pretty much just waiting for that rocket wall to melt. So we'll just do some cleanup stuff around the base. Oxygen level is decent. See some pieces of polluted oxygen there. Some lime. It's actually good, because lime is something we're short on. We only have so much fossil. That technically won't expose us to space. Okay, so with this, I'm just going to dump all material that's swept in here so the dupes have a place to remove this. And I see lots of polluted water bottles. Oh yeah, that was just the mess before that could explain polluted oxygen laying around, fortunately. Let's put a spot in for that to go. Clean up around here first. this is going to be a spot for polluted water. Only swept polluted water, though. Because we still have polluted water to oxygen systems. This guy has some power. I have a bottle emptier. Now these could be bottles that have food poisoning, so hence why they're going in here. Just join at that location. Okay, let's go. Oh, so this is exciting. We're going to test out our protection from meteorites. I have no idea what's going to happen. Now, I certainly don't want any of these things to take damage while they're trying to melt this rocket wall. Where are we temperature-wise? Above 1,000 degrees. Now, having these tiles take damage, I'm not worried about that. As long as they block anything below them from taking damage, I'm not sure that it will. Just wait for a strike to find out. So this is giving us uranium ore as we get meteorites falling. Did we get there? Oh no, that was regolith, warm regolith. Oh, okay, we got a strike there, but it didn't cause any damage. In fact, it actually created a tile, which is going to give us additional protection. Although, not just one tile's not going to do a lot. Is that it? I guess so. Well, we didn't actually get a strike, so I'm not sure this actually worked. We kind of more just got lucky. We still have a vacuum in here, getting close to 1100 degrees. Just checking to make sure where I've got my polluted water bottles. I'm not sweeping, because what I'm going to do... Oh, never mind, this is not built. Other thing I probably should have done is made or refactored this to have an infinite storage of food. But I'm pretty much just focusing on this new test to see if I can build a rocket. A super rocket without Atmos suits, and at this early stage of the radioactive ocean asteroid. Though looking at it by cycle 110, I probably in a normal playthrough, I think I would have made my way over here. But I just need to know. So polluted water bottles don't have a place to go just yet. Let's do this at priority just so that we get that polluted water or oxygen out of the way. The other thing that we could do is we could put lights in the bathroom. Take some of these out, I guess. Put a light in where they shower. This out of copper. So each of these are going to need light. Put ceiling lamps here and here. with a dupe sensor next to each. So each pair of sink and lavatory will have its own light. Okay, let's go check to see if this is great. There we are. So what I'm going to do is select polluted water, but only swept. Do that high priority. So we should see some of these bottled waters or bottled polluted water move out of the way in time. Oh, and I see we've got a nature reserve. Again, we'll check. Yep. Stress has gone down. I think that was what Beaker was upset with. They really enjoy their nature reserve, apparently. So we've got a barracks. We've got a great hall. This time for all dupes. We've got one unassigned table, which is a good sign. Power plant. Stable of 96. 96. 96. I have not been over to visit these guys. 32,000 calories, so they're good with food. Opportunity to rummage this. Dig this plant out. Go in here. We'll get start mining some copper ore. Okay, this food on here is not an ideal location. Maybe we'll empty this fridge. See, 80,000 calories. We could do another hunt. So this might be a good time to walk away and let the dupes do some cleaning up. We've got, oh, what's this? Salt water. We don't have a place for salt water to go. Let's just dump that in here. If we can. But yeah, I might do a hunt, walk away for a bit, let the dupes do that. So right now, we're at 1400 degrees. We'll have a look when I'm back. So I'm going to say, dupes, you are now no longer allowed to go here. You can go in here. And don't cause any trouble while I'm away, please. Can get attack some of these critters as well. They're all potential meat source.